This is my ultimate LEGO GBC control center. This video has been in the works for quite some time. In fact, I'll show you right around where it started.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen any GBC.
I'm starting on one right now.
Forever will it dominate your LEGO hobby. It's almost as bad as trains.
The spark has always been there for me when it comes to LEGO GBC. I have some old footage of unfinished projects from over the years, but most of it I don't have a record of. I do remember as a kid putting tiles and slopes on base plates and rolling marbles down them. And I did own the Connect's Big Ball Factory as a kid, and oh my god, I forgot about zones. Anyway, so the idea for this project is to use the Dactyl Control Lab to control a GBC layout in real time. I can control the air and power supply to all the GBC modules I build. I even use an industrial grade touchscreen to control the software. Now you may be asking yourself, why would anybody do this? Why go through all this trouble? You must be new here. Welcome to Battery Powered Bricks. I like a good challenge, and I absolutely love the Dactyl Control Lab. It makes its way into most of my projects. Also, I need to say this up front, this is version 1. I have many ideas and plans for the future, but it will never truly be completed. So I thought I'd share what I have so far. The pneumatic compressors draw the most power by far, so they are run from a modified train speed regulator. It uses the LM350 voltage regulator instead of the stock LM317, and can supply about twice the current. I also mounted it on an external heatsink with a small 40mm fan. Regulator 2 is also modified with an LM350, but it uses the stock heatsink. All three main power regulators have a temperature sensor which is read by the Dactyl Control Lab. The temperatures are presented on screen and even have a handy graph for each one. If that doesn't deserve hitting the like button, I don't know what does. The front panel, which may expand in the future, has a voltage and current meter for the main regulator, with lamps to indicate when the main regulator and control lab are powered, and when the fan is running. The fan can be controlled automatically from the Dactyl Control Lab. Each regulator can be enabled or disabled by relays I built using the old 9-volt pole reverser switches. The pneumatic pumps are controlled separately by relays using the newer power function switches. Originally, I used an NXT to control the pumps and monitor the pressure, but it just made things more complicated. Maybe I'll incorporate the NXT in a later version, but for now, it isn't needed. The two pneumatic modules I've been using are well matched to the air supply, so the pumps don't need to switch on and off while they are running. The pneumatic supply lines are also enabled or disabled from the Control Lab page, allowing the main air supply to build up pressure in the tanks before running the modules. As of now, the Technic Control Center only controls the valves to purge the air pressure in the system. I may remove it entirely and just have a manual valve to release the pressure. I'm open to ideas on how to incorporate it better, and have a few ideas of my own already. I also have a simple ball counter using a light sensor, but it is not very accurate. I have seen GBC counters using the touch sensor, but even then the Control Lab is not always accurate when counting presses. I'd really like to have an on-screen counter, but may outsource this function to an NXT or RCX in later versions. And I almost forgot, I've also added an e-stop button that turns all of the relays off. This has definitely come in handy when modules are being troublesome. That's what I have so far for the control center. Let's take a quick look at the GBC layout I've been working on, which is very much a work in progress as well. All of these modules are based on free instructions from rebrickable.com. I will link these in the description. Most will have a video from the designer right on the model page. In the coming weeks, I'd like to make short reviews of these modules and list any problems I had or modifications that I made. Most work pretty well just following the instructions, but GBC modules can be very temperamental. If you are new here, this is the kind of thing I do. Most videos aren't quite as polished as this one, but they lead up to videos such as this. I have videos and tutorials for making your own 9-volt and power functions cables and adapters, upgrading train regulators, advanced use cases for 9-volt power functions and powered up, and of course lots of haul videos where I try to track down the best deals on old LEGO electronics and parts for my creations. If that sounds interesting, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Again, I wanted to thank all the builders that designed the GBC modules featured in this video. I wouldn't have done any of this without their instructions for GBC modules, as well as their direct help in some cases. And thanks to you for watching. Remember to play well. You must be new here. You must be new here. Welcome to Battery Powered Bricks. You must be new. Why do I keep doing that?